Hey guys, welcome to today's Vehicle Visionary. This is the 2021 Land Rover Range Rover Sport, and we're going to take a quick look at this particular model. This is the 3.5 liter six-cylinder we're going to see under the hood. Not the most powerful engine available, but it is a very powerful piece anyway. This is the HST trim level, and I'll list all the different trim levels on the screen for you and their starting prices. I'll also list some details about this particular model. I'm going to go in here and open the hood so I can show you what's under the hood here with this six-cylinder engine that puts out 395 horsepower and 406 foot-pounds of torque. All the particulars are on the screen for you. Of course, you've got the black upper and lower grills, the Land Rover logo. This is a very nicely designed vehicle. We'll take a test drive in just a little while and see how it handles. Of course, you'll notice the decorative vents here. They're not actually functional, but just it looks nice. I like the fact that it's there. Even though they're not functional, they don't let air in, but they are there. And you have the black rims, the black roof. I really like how that contrasts the silver. And of course, the red brake caliper covers. I believe those are actually covers on there. If it was me, I think I would have done the Land Rover in black, but everybody is different on that. Tell me what you think about that, because everyone's going to have their own varying opinions on that information. So we'll take a quick look here at the back seat. I'm going to hop in here just so you can see. I have quite a bit of room. The seat is, of course, back a long ways, but I have a decent amount of leg room. I'm 5'10". The interesting thing that I noticed here with the controls in the back is you don't actually control anything. You just basically see what's in the front. Those say low, so do these. But here's an interesting thing. You can almost prank the drivers in the front, or the driver and passenger in the front, because when you push the up arrow there to increase the fan speed, it increases the fan speed in the front and in the back. It's a very interesting little thing there. But there is a lot of storage space back here, pretty reasonable amount, I'd say. You've got the door pockets, or the rear pockets on the back of the seats, the door bins, and you do have, of course, the fold-down armrest right here, two cup holders, and you have a little bit of storage right there if you want to put some snacks or something like that in there. Now, let me show you one thing that will be very helpful, and I'll put the cargo numbers on the screen. If you pull on this little latch down here on the bottom, you can lower this side, and the other side is the same way. The 60-40 split rear seats here, you can lower those, and there is a reasonable amount of storage space. I'll put the cargo space numbers on the screen along with the towing capacity for this particular model. And one thing that I think people will like here, this is a very capable off-road vehicle, but going off-road can sometimes mean getting a flat tire. Hopefully you can see that well with the GoPro shot. There's a full-size black tire there with the black rim. And if you want to raise and or lower the vehicle, see how fast that's coming up? I mean, I'm going to raise it all the way up just so you can see what we have here, and then give you a good shot from the exterior of what that looks like. That's up pretty high, and then of course we can lower it back down. It's not slow by any means when it comes to raising and or lowering the suspension. And of course you have a cargo cover right here that you can use if you want to conceal something back here, or maybe keep it a little bit cooler under that cover, whatever the case may be. And that is removable. It's not difficult to remove at all, so you can maximize your cargo space that way without the cargo cover actually being in the way. And right up here, a little button you can push to close the power lift gate. Of course, you do have the very sporty looking rear spoiler here that actually is functional, the roof spoiler, and its function is to channel air over the rear like this. And what that does is that keeps, or helps to keep, the rear window clean when you're driving down the road. Of course, you do have the rear window wiper if you need that. That is there. And when it comes to the interior, it is very comfortable and very luxurious. You can see you've got your door bin right there. You've got all the different finishes here. Now, here's something you might not know about. You have dual glove boxes here. I guess that's what you would call it, a dual glove box, but basically you have the top box right here, a little bit larger than the conventional glove box, and then you have the more conventional size down here on the bottom, so a little bit additional space there. Just a very versatile vehicle. Now, I do like the fact that there are multiple driving modes depending on what your situation is. You do have the aluminum pedals there, kind of a sporty look right there, which is something you would expect with the Range Rover Sport. Alcantara wrapped steering wheel, that is ultra comfortable, and one of the nice benefits to that, if you don't know, is that unlike other materials, this isn't going to get hot during the summer. You can leave it out and it won't get as hot. So nice materials throughout. Everything is very durable as well. Of course, you do have the shade here for the panoramic sunroof, or moonroof is what it's actually listed as on the label. Now, here on the center screen, show you a couple of things that you might want to know about. You can change between day and night mode. That definitely helps depending on your situation. And if you're not aware, the plus and the minus right there, if you just hold your finger, it's going to come up. And there's multiple different areas where you can start or stop it, basically, depending on the screen angle that you want. Now, I've noticed a lot of people, what they'll do is they'll do this. Just because the way the screen acts when you bring it up, you don't have to actually tap it like that. You can just hold it down. It's still going to kind of go down in increments, but I do think that it's a lot easier to just hold it down. But if you don't want to do it that way, well, I guess you don't have to. The infotainment screen, very easy to use. Of course, you've got navigation here. Don't have an internet connection, so I won't be able to show that to you right now, but as you can see, it is there. We'll just go back, or you can go home. Oh, there we go. We did get our screen there. But media, and I've got that turned off just so that we don't have to take any chance on any copyright violations from YouTube. We don't want to do that. And as you can see, there's a lot here. It's basically the same system that I did a video or two ago in the Jaguar F-Pace. This looks identical because it basically is the same thing. You've got valet mode. We'll click on that. And if you'll notice, yeah, it's quick. I like the fact that it doesn't have lag, at least not in that area. You've got your cameras. We'll click on that and let that give us our camera views. And of course, you do have a rear view camera, which is what we're looking at right now. You put it in reverse, it's going to bring that up. And if you don't know, and I know not everybody knows these things, you're not going to buy a vehicle now, in the US at least, that does not have a rear view camera. That was actually meant to be, or supposed to be, mandated on all vehicles by the year 2020. And so obviously that was taken care of. But as you can see, there's a lot of information here. Eco data. Let's just click on that and see what we get. I actually have never clicked on that before. We would have more information, I guess, if I was driving in eco mode, but basically telling you what your energy impact is, if that is something you want to know. But as you can see, there's a lot of information here, contacts, all that good stuff. You've got voice commands, Apple CarPlay and Android Auto, which are now standard on these Range Rover Sports, by the way. So if you're wondering about that, that is something that is available. And of course, you can go through and change your ambient lighting. And unfortunately, I'm not going to be able to really give you a lot of a very good look at that, as much as I wish I could, because it's just too light out here today. Even sitting here in the shade, maybe I can stop by the Mercedes dealership and hop into the photo booth on the way back. But as you can see, there's a lot of great features here. And if you want to know how to get to this screen, that's what I just did right there. You can hit settings, and that will take you to this screen where you can change the angle and all of that good stuff. And then you've got the lower screen right here. And it has, of course, climate, which is basically where we just were. You can adjust a lot of different things with the seats, depending on what you want to do there. And then you do have settings. Once again, you can go over there and just kind of make changes to a few different things. Pretty much kind of some of the same stuff you would have gotten to begin with. But here's what I really wanted to show you. The driving modes. And there are several, so we'll run through what they are. You've got, of course, comfort that was on the screen. You've got dynamic. You've got eco right here. It does take just a second or two for that to come up. You've got comfort program if you want to use that and be as comfortable as possible on maybe a long road trip or something like that. And you can actually use, instead of just selecting these by hand, you can actually, the dial right here, what that dial actually allows you to do, if you push that down, it will select the appropriate driving mode for you. So what about driving? I'm going to hop into dynamic mode, and you can see your mode there. I don't know if you saw that or not, but hopefully you can see that. When you make changes to the mode, it's going to show you on the instrument cluster there what mode you're driving in. So, and like I said, even though this is not the most powerful Range Rover you can buy, there is of course a lesser engine available. I don't know, maybe that's the wrong terminology for that, but you do have the 4-cylinder, the hybrid plug-in version, and if we can get our hands on one of those, I will definitely do that. I hope you can see the heads-up display that is here on the windshield. I like that. Hopefully you've got a good view here. I'm trying to make sure of that. I'm still kind of learning my way around using this GoPro, so I apologize if that is not perfect, guys. It's been a bit of a learning experience to get used to doing the videos this way. But I'll tell you what, even though this is not the most powerful version, it's not going to let you down. You're going to be able to get down the road just fine without any problems whatsoever. So when it comes to overall comfort, even though I'm driving in dynamic mode, everything is basically set to its most aggressive point, this is still an ultra comfortable vehicle for an SUV. It is all-wheel drive, of course, which I don't think there's any of the Range Rover Sports that are not, but the handling is just wonderful with this vehicle. And I've driven the Range Rover Sport autobiographies and the dynamic versions with the larger V8, and hopefully we'll get to do that again soon because the sound is just incredible for the interior. So using the GoPro, we'll probably not only use the head mount as I'm doing right now, but also put it on the bumper and let you just enjoy the exhaust sound. But I can tell you right now, if I floor it, not hurting for horsepower at all. This is really almost the perfect SUV in my personal opinion. It's luxurious, it has the right technology. You know, it's very interesting that the Range Rover Sport has remained so popular, even though Land Rover has not really redesigned it for so long. What's really kept it going has been the fact that they have continued to upgrade the technology over the years, and there are a few little trim package changes that have been made for the 2021 model year. Of course, there are multiple safety features available. I will list a portion of that list on the screen. Of course, you can see the full list on via the link of the description, I should say, on the Land Rover of Shreveport website. So if you want to see a little bit more information than I've given in this video, make sure to check that out. But I'll tell you what, I am really enjoying this. I don't want to overload you with information. For me personally, that's, even though this is actually pressing me back in the seat a little bit, and it really, you can tell how far it held the gear right there. The advantage to that is that it's continuing to take advantage of the horsepower with a longer gear run in the transmission. I'll tell you what, this is a fun vehicle to drive. But it's even more fun to drive with the 518 horsepower. So anyway, guys, I do want to remind you, make sure to subscribe to Vehicle Visionary, because when we hit 25,000 subscribers, one of you will win a $250 gift card to Amazon. When we hit 50,000, one of you will get 500, and so forth. And we're going to just keep doing that at every single milestone. So I appreciate my friends at Land Rover of Shreveport, and I appreciate all of you for being kind enough to take the time to watch. Look forward to seeing you in my next video.